right now. I want to welcome into the Rich Eisen Show studio the star of Imaginary Mary on ABC. The season and series finale comes up next Tuesday, and I've been a big fan of yours for long. Jenna Elfman, good to see you.
Thank you.
So you are from Los Angeles? You're right here in Los
Angeles?
Native. Okay, so that makes you a what fan are you here in town?
Dodgers, Los Angeles Dodgers.
Los Doyers. Los Doyers?
Yes.
Okay,
they're doing really well.
So you've been going to Dodger Stadium pretty much?
Yeah, we've actually had, we've been there several times this last, 4 weeks.
Okay.
I threw the first pitch, threw a strike from the mound.
Now,
thank you.
Very good. Now, you understand, not everybody goes from the top of the mound and throws out the first pitch.
I am aware. That's why I'm so cocky about it.
So how did...
I never even did sports. I mean, I was a dancer. I was a ballerina and jazz dancer, which is an athlete, but not that kind.
Not like overhand.
No, and when I was pregnant, 7 years ago, I threw the first pitch there. Pregnant from the mound and threw an eephus strike.
You threw...
But I'm more cocky about this pitch because it was not an eephus.
Yes, but I mean, to be able to throw a strike with child.
Yes.
It's Serena Williams just won the Australian Open while pregnant.
Isn't that amazing? So we are women. Hear us roar.
That's right. By the way, I think in the 2.5 years of this show, we've never had anybody quote Helen Reddy before.
Oh, that was just by ratio of man to woman guest. I would imagine that wouldn't happen.
You just broke new ground.
Yay.
So you threw a strike then?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Right, and he stood up, was like, I'm so impressed. He was very impressed.
Whoever caught it?
Yes.
Okay.
Which I'm completely blanking on his name now, but that's
Let me tell you something. I blanked. I did it one time for the Dodgers. I blanked on pretty much.
And how did you do?
Brockman was there.
From the mound? How did it go?
I threw from the mound. I also went ahead and practiced.
Yes, I practiced.
From a mound.
Yes.
Okay. The pitch that I threw would have fooled a left-handed hitter, but struck a right-handed hitter in the batter's box. That would have been
So I can sit here and say to your face, I pitched better than you from the mound.
I found your clip on YouTube.
That's okay, right? I can say that.
I'm watching it right now.
You're Rich Eisen.
You can say that.
You live in the sports world.
Yes.
I am an actress.
Brad Osmus caught your pitch.
Thank you.
Well,
yes.
There's my pitch.
That's right.
Kenley Jansen caught my pitch as a lowly member of the bullpen. He became the starter. I mean, the closer,
Yeah.
He became the closer after, so I feel like I'm a factor.
So you dosed him with some good luck.
I'm a good luck doser, Jenna.
Your measly pitch. No,
that's what I am.
I'm just kidding.
So so you take your kids to the stadium.
Oh, yeah.
So you're a big fan of Puig and all those guys.
Well, of course, and you had like you said, your kids were at the game where they saw multiple home runs being hit, and that kind of can lead them in the wrong way with their own little league, because that does not happen. So we have to remind them every time, I always point out when the major league players strike out,
right?
Because I'm like, see, it happens to that's more often than not in baseball.
Yes,
you don't get on base. So when you don't get on base and you go back to the dugout and you're crying, I understand.
Yes,
but I'm deep in little league right now. So it's I have big bruises here because that's all we do is practice in the morning.
Why do you have bruises on your shins?
He hits the ball and it goes straight into my shin.
How old is he?
He's 9.5.
Okay.
And I, for some reason, have 3 giant bruises all in a row.
Sort of like a stoplight.
I know, it's kind of odd.
Right up and down your right shin.
But I love it. I love baseball. It's an American thing, and I love it. I love Little League. I got into it with one of the, with one of the opposing team's coaches.
Okay, now let's get into this. What do you mean you got into it?
I love this.
I didn't want to be that mom. But he was completely coming from the third baseline into our pitcher's peripheral vision. And it's in the Little League rules that you're not supposed to do that. And he was specifically doing it to distract our pitcher.
Come on now. So these are 9-year-olds.
They're 9 and 10-year-old boys. And he's using all this strategy to distract our little boy pitchers.
So Jenna Elfman's 9-year-old son on this team, you are in the stands and you're noticing that the opposing coach is trying to distract a 9-year-old.
Yeah, so I went around to his side and I called him over because I'm aware of who I am and I don't want a story. Do you know what I mean? I just wanted him. I don't want to be like that mom at Little League, but I wanted him to set a better example and not be such a at a Little League game here. So I was like, come here, and I called him over to the fence by the dugout and I was like, can you be more kind with how you're because he also, when our coach said, hey, can you please just be where you're supposed to be, he gave him a lot of lip.
So you watched your coach try to handle it.
Yeah, and he's a gentleman. He's a sweetheart. And the guy was a jerk. And I was like, okay, number one, you're using bad strategy to distract the pitchers, and you're being a jerk when we kind of ask you to like be a good sportsman, have good sportsmanship. And so I was like, can you be more kind in how you're dealing with this and set a good example to our boys? Because it's like we have to set an example for sportsmanship as well as how to play the game. And he was like, it took everything. He hated me in that moment. He took everything in him to just be like, I respect where you're coming from. And then he went over to our coach and said, Jenna Elfman just asked me to be more kind. And then he continued to
so he
proceeded to continue doing what he was doing. And now they're going to chalk line a box that the coaches have to stay in now because of that experience.
Do we call it the Jenna Elfman rule?
Yeah, let's do that.
Can we do that?
I'd like to have that. I'd like to have.
I like that you said you read the Little League book. Like you read the rule book?
No, the coach told me that it's a rule in the Little League playbook that you can't go past that third base into the peripheral vision.
Now, what if the coach looked at you and said, drop it, Dharma?
I'd say, out here right now.
Then you start throwing down. just start throwing. Well, I had a similar experience in the fact that I was coaching. My kid's 7, so they're finally starting to get the pitch for the first time.
Is it machine pitch?
No, it's hand pitched by the coach, and sometimes my wife's like, this coach cannot throw.
Oh my God!
So I'm like, okay, let's all just. Because I was away at the NFL draft, and I got this message.
You were too busy throwing first pitch.
No, I was actually, She's like, but this coach cannot throw, and our son is going to hit off the tee. And anyway, long story short is my wife is great. So she went there and watched this whole thing. The week before, though, I was the one in the third base coach's box, which is nothing with 7-year-olds. It's basically like make sure that they run from one base. Yes, exactly. Yeah. That they understand it's from second to third, and then from third to home.
Yes,
okay,
not from second to the pitching mound.
Correct. Yeah. So I'm doing this for a couple innings, and then I'm getting ready to go out for the third and final inning, and another parent who I'd never met before took it upon herself to go out to the third base coach's box. Which is fine.
Love it.
It wasn't.
No, I know, but we can get kind of heated on these things, when Mama Bear kicks in.
Yeah, but it wasn't a gender thing for me. It was just a territorial thing for me. Just like thinking to myself, does she think I'm not doing a good enough job of being a third base coach for something? I almost said something, but I decided to drop it.
That could come off really the wrong way.
Don't you think?
Yeah. It's a funny thing, isn't it? With the men and the women and the sports and the moms and the dads and the placement of such people. It's, yeah, I know. I try to just pretend I'm genderless and just try to be a good human.
Go out there. Unfortunately, the name of the coach that you were trying not to start something with was named Harvey Levin, and we've got a video to show. No, we're not doing that. Jenna Elfman on Twitter, also here on the show. Imaginary Mary, the series finale is Tuesday. You enjoyed doing the show?
Yeah, we had a great time. It was a big swing to have a CGI character. It's the first time it's ever been done on network television. Right. Great, talented people involved, and it's there for people to enjoy. In the season finale, I get to do so many fun things, So I'm really proud of our work, and I hope everyone enjoys it.
And you're doing a podcast with your husband on the Nerdist Network, which is where so many great podcasts can be found. What is that about?
It's called Kicking and Screaming. We've been together for 26 years, which is like 150 in Hollywood years. And it's an R-rated comedy podcast, which we film in our house. It's on iTunes as well, called Kicking and Screaming. And we talk about everything relationships, our marriage, we throw ourselves under the bus, we withhold nothing. And people are enjoying it because they feel like, oh, they're just like us. This is not just our marriage. We shouldn't get divorced. This is everybody. Oh, wait. And it just, people are relating and enjoying it. And it's, we are full on about everything. We talk about all our issues, and it's a good time.
Fantastic. Yeah. And you can download it on the Nerdist Network again. And then Imaginary Mary series finale is on Tuesday. Come back anytime, Jenna Elfman. I love having you on. It was a lot of fun. You got it. We're back in 60 seconds with your phone calls. Jenna Elfman here on The Rich Eisen Show. Back with more in a moment.
The Rich Eisen Show. Weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.
If you like that, download our app. Please, just if it's a memory thing, just delete other apps. You don't need those apps. This app, the Rich Eisen Show app, you need that.